Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. We have an Eshin-themed jamboree for you here today as the Skaven face off against the Greenskin. This is quite a thematic build as the entire army has stock Vanguard and everything but 3 units has concealment bombs. So for the infantry here, we have 3 Eshin Triads, one of which being Ishka's Triads. The rest of the infantry department is going to be 5 Death Runners to wrap things up. For the melee engagement on the flanks, we have Gutter Runners as well as 1 Gutter Runners with poison. We have an Assassin flanked by Deathmaster Snickich, and we have an Eshin Sorcerer as well. The Eshin Sorcerer is going to be bringing a few lovely tricks. Of course, he has Consumer Bomb. We have Black Whirlwind, we have Veil of Shadows, Skitter Leap, and Toxic Rain for his passive. Deathmaster Snickich, of course, has the Deathmaster Sigil, and the Assassin is coming in with Rival Hide Talisman and the Assassin's Trophy. Now for the Greenskins Army, we're going to quickly get this underway. We have Knight Goblins, kind of Vanguard deployment, but we also have a line of Force Goblin Spider Riders with Archers Vanguarded up into the tree line. We have Skarsnik, a Night Goblin Shaman, and the Night Goblin Shaman is going to be bringing Itchy Nuisance and Vindictive Glare. We have some more Night Goblins in the back, and some more goblins just spread out amongst the trees, and we have the Rogue Idol as the centerpiece for this build. We'll wrap things up for the most part, Goblin Big Boss as well, but let's take a look at the frontline engagement that is already underway. Smoke bombs were being deployed across the entire army for the Skaven, as they pretty much get a free charge in as they went unspottable for that first bit. We have a nice little Vortex. Doesn't do any damage here, but the whole point of this Vortex is to push away all of the Night Goblins. I did probably drop it a little too early. I wanted the Assassin and Snickich to both have a nice clear run up at Skarsnik, but the Assassin now is going to be coming in and going to have a nice clean run straight through the infantry into Skarsnik with Deathmaster close behind, as the Assassin Trophy is now popped, as well as Rival Hide Talisman, and now we'll be getting the Sigil going down, preventing him from moving, as the Assassin and Snickich will make quick work of Skarsnik, doing quite a bit of damage, but the Rogue Idol coming in to the rescue and knocking the Deathmaster away out of range of Skarsnik, at least for the time being, but he's going to come back in, get some nice hits. So far, the Assassin and the Deathmaster hasn't been taking too much damage from this, but the Death Creepers are going to be coming in with support, trying to save their lord. If we kind of span out and take a look at what else is going on, we do have some archers in the back, and so everything is going fairly well for the frontline engagement, but on the peripheries, there are just a few spotted in engagements. But the big problem here is probably going to be the Rogue Idol. Now here we have a nice Vortex, and this one actually does do damage. If we kind of zoom on in, you can see just absolutely churning away all of these troops, doing quite a bit of damage, completely shattering this unit of goblins and kind of clearing up some of the mass. We'll take a look back in here what the Rogue Idol is doing. The Assassin was trying to get a few little hits on him, but that Rogue Idol is just going to absolutely spank him, and the Eshin Sorcerer kind of just chilling away in the tree line for the time being. Gutter Runners are trying to poke their way into these Night Goblin Archers, but for the most part, the front line has pretty much crumbled on both sides, more or less. Skaven taking quite a bit of damage, as the mobility department for the Greenskins is starting to chase down kind of the stragglers. But the Assassin and the Deathmaster are still doing fairly strong. Some Night Goblins coming in to support, as here comes Skarsnik back again, but the Deathmaster does see that. He does pop Concealment Bombs, going hidden right as he's about to charge in, gets that Sigil off, and now he has free reign to attack Skarsnik without any assistance, and the only close by assistance is going to be routing from the field, so Skarsnik is going to be meeting an early grave, as the Deathmaster will claim another head. Though the Scarstick may be able to at least get away, but nope, he does not. He does drop down. These Night Goblin units are going to be pulling back to the main engagement, as Snagich will be able to kind of skirt away from them. But here, the Rogue Idol doing a lot of good work against all the Death Runners in the area, one of which being the Death Squad ROR unit. And yeah, just these Death Runners in the middle here. We do have the Sorcerer still left. Of course, we have Deathmaster and the Assassin for the Greenskins. We do have a bit more on the infantry department. We have some very healthy Night Goblins, and we have some Night Goblin archers with quite a bit of ammo left, and they'll do quite a bit of work to the lightly armored Skaven troops. Here on the far flank, we have a couple of the Forest Goblin Spider Riders getting into the Gutter Runners. They will be able to chase them off. Ashen Trials should be able to hold them off if they get into that engagement, at least for a little bit. They are anti-large, and Forest Goblin Spider Riders aren't going to be taking, or aren't going to be dishing out too much pain. But that Rogue Idol still going to be that big threat for the Skaven, as another concealment bomb going down on the Eshin Sorcerer as he tries to kind of get out of that engagement. But here is the Goblin Big Boss back again, and he will be looking to assist that engagement as best he can. Now, at this point, the Skaven are losing a bit in the balance of power. Pretty much have to avoid that Rogue Idol as much as they can while still trying to clean up all of its support. I'm going to have to save that for last, but here is a fantastic Vortex going down on top of the Deathmaster when he was surrounded by the Forest Goblin Spider Riders, two units of those, and a Night Goblin unit. Just absolutely devastating all of these bodies, and none shall rise again. And now the Deathmaster and the Eshin are able to deal with these Night Goblin archers just as these Forest Goblins try and come in to support, but they should be able to deal with them fairly well. They are just Forest Goblin Spider Riders, as they do shatter as well. So now, if we look back, the balance of power is now in the Skaven's favor, as they actually have been able to pretty much clean up everything on the peripheries. Only thing left are these Death Creepers. Otherwise, everything is pretty much gone and dusted, with the exception of the Rogue Idol. So yeah, that Vortex pretty much was a massive game changer, just dropping it right onto that blob of infantry units, and that will eliminate the support of the Rogue Idol. And that's, yeah, as I said before, that is what the Skaven needed to be doing here, because other than these Goblin Archers, even though the Rogue Idol is a very big beast of a unit, he is still just a single unit, and the leadership is going to play a role in it. And if he has assistance in the from surrounding troops, and he will be able to at least sustain for a bit longer. Night Goblin archers able to push off these Gutter Runners to avoid at least a little bit of support. This does look like it is just the regular variant. It isn't the one with poison, which would be even a bigger threat to the Rogue Idol for this final engagement. The Assassin is pushing off the last of the support on the very far fringes. There are a couple of Death Runners, and here are some Gutter Runners with poison, though they have used up all of their ammo. So they will pretty much just be chaff for the final fight between the Assassins and one big rocky boy. And that Rogue Idol dropping those hands as it just wastes a unit of those Gutter Runners. But here comes the Deathmaster, and the Assassin should be coming along shortly, but they are able to quickly rout off the Night Goblin archers. They did have their smoke bomb on them, so they were able to get a nice charge on these unsuspecting units. And now here comes that surround off on the Rogue Idol. Looks like one unit is trying to push through to chase down the Night Goblin archers, though we do have these Gutter Runners helping in that regard. And here comes the Assassin looking to assist his Deathmaster. The Assassin, or the Sorcerer, is taking a few attacks, but that Rogue Idol pretty much has to prioritize either the Deathmaster or the Assassin. Pretty much going after the Deathmaster first does make a lot more sense. He is one of the bigger threats. Anything else on the field really can't damage him in any way. And even though the Deathmaster and the Assassin are able to do nice damage against the Rogue Idol, it'll still take a very long time to do it. While the Rogue Idol, only a couple lucky shots, as you can see right there, pretty much taking off almost 3/4 of what he had left, instantly routing that Assassin. And so that Assassin is going to be running away, so it is just down to the Deathmaster, and all that Rogue Idol needs to do is land one hit, and that may be enough to break the Deathmaster here. You still have the Ashen Sorcerer, but it looks like leadership is going to be paying its toll, and the Rogue Idol does route to leadership in the end. I did forget to introduce who was commanding each of the forces earlier on in that batch. So we do have Get Up Mule was commanding the Greenskins in that engagement, and I was, of course, leading the Skaven. I wanted to kind of get things going as quickly as I can with how those deployments were set up. Pretty much, yeah, as I said, this was a very thematic build. I would not suggest that other people try to recreate this unless you're having a little bit of fun. But yeah, this build was every single unit had stock, every single unit had Vanguard, and everything but the Gutter Runners had concealment bombs as well. So as soon as the battle starts, I pretty much popped all of the concealment bombs, making them unspottable, and so none of the Greenskin forces were able to get a nice charge off, and they weren't able to see any of my units until they were right on top of them mid-charge. A lot of their units did have Vanguard as well, and stock. And of course you have that Rogue Idol, quite the beast. Generally not necessarily a good pick against Skaven. You'll often see a lot of ranged support, but this build only had some Gutter Runners. Poison does do nice work. But yeah, even though these Death Runners did a ton of damage, getting a lot of kills, Ashen Triad's not really the matchup again for it. Maybe being a little bit more reserved with them could have played a little bit more dividends in the late game, especially with that Rogue Idol. But yeah, the Ashen Sorcerer, late game play of the match, with that Vortex clearing up the last of the chaff units that the Greenskins had left. But it was a fantastic match. Lots of fun was had. This is a nice laid back one as well. But that will be all for today, and I hope you enjoyed the video. And as always, have a good one.